things, decor if they want. So that's just minor feature you might not know by looking at it. We also upgraded the projector in that space, and we also upgraded the sound. So that space now features, I think, up to 4 wireless microphones. So it's just something for groups to become aware of as they're planning their events throughout the year. Okay, so that's Student Center updates. WAM, Weekends at Montclair, did a rebrand over the summer. They're looking to continue to elevate the level of programming that is provided on the weekends. So look out for that. Both WAM and the Office of Commuter Life have co-sponsorship opportunities for student groups. They obviously have to meet certain criteria. So for example, if you're working with Commuter Life, your programs have to be at certain times and be something that commuters could benefit from, but there is some financial co-sponsorship available from those offices. With Weekends at Montclair, they have it as well, and of course, it has to be on the weekend. So take a look at that. Greek Life. Our Greek Life coordinator, Emily Sinan, is no longer at the university. She moved on with her family. They're living in Boston now. So we are currently, that position has been posted. Julie Fleming is overseeing Greek Life in the meantime, along with the graduate coordinators from that area. The Red Hawk Pantry is up and running. If you know of a student who's experiencing food insecurities, please let them know about the food pantry. One thing to note is a student is living on campus and has a meal plan. At this time, they are not eligible to go to use the food pantry because they have a meal plan, but some students have limited meal plans, so by November, December, they start running out. At that point, they do become eligible. So it's just something to be aware of and to spread the word. Also, we are in the process of competing, so we are trying to get students registered to vote. Montclair State University is competing with other New Jersey schools to get the most number of newly registered students. This is the Secretary of State of New Jersey's competition. This is the second year that it's being held, and we are currently the reigning champions of our bracket. So we want to maintain our championship and win this. So we are registering students throughout the year. We are doing, this week we have several tabling events where we're registering students. We also have a registration training tomorrow at 12 at the School of Business if students or faculty or staff want to learn how to register students. I don't usually have that many updates, but I wanted to give you updates from the summer, and so we had a lot going on over the summer. So that is, the Volunteer Center also still has a couple of spots for National Voter Registration, National Day of Service, which is on the 14th. There are very few spots available, but there are some spots. So if you know of somebody who's looking to volunteer at that event, make sure they do so quickly. And all that information you can find on Hawksing.
All right. Any questions for Dr. Pecan? All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so now we're going to go ahead and move into officer reports. So, draw.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, potential legislators, executive board members, cabinet, justices, administration, and student leaders. First, I would like to say welcome back and welcome to what I'm sure is going to be an exciting and challenging year for all of us. I would like to start by telling you what the executive board has accomplished over the course of this summer. When we took office in June, we started to discuss what our goals were for this year and for this summer, and the one goal we all had in common was to publicize the SGA and also get more students involved. That is where changing and inspiring at the speed of light came from, and that is our motto this year. It encompassed all that we are trying to do this year within the SGA. As a student population, we have changed drastically over the years, and the student government has been updated along the way, but has not kept up with us, and that is what we've been doing for the past summer. Preparing these updates, the new structures, and the procedures that are going to be a part of the new and improved SGA there are more specifics that the rest of the board will talk about during their reports. But another important thing that is going on in the SGA is that we're keeping the same lawyer that we had last year. We met with him over the summer, and he's happy to represent the SGA as a former president himself. He was the SGA president back in 2003 and 2004. So during this summer, we also had a chance to develop ourselves as leaders. Our vice president, treasurer, secretary, and I, we attended ACUI's Institute for Leadership, Education, and Development, better known as iLead, at the University of Vermont in Vermont. At iLead, we spent the week surrounded by other student leaders on college campuses across the country, and even a few internationally. We were able to make connections and learn about how other student governments and student unions are ran, while also learning how we, as your student government leaders, could do better and be better for you. I want to close out my report by saying how excited I am to start the school year with you all, and I cannot wait to see what you all bring to the table and how we're all able to positively impact this campus community. Remember, we are all students. We are all for the students, by the students, and everything in this room is much bigger than us. Everything that we do while we are here impacts the 17,000 undergraduate students on this campus. So thank you for all being here today and for having the passion to make a difference.
Thank you, Jarrell. All right, so I guess we can move forward with the other reports, or should we swear in? All right, so we're going to go ahead and swear in y'all legislators. So it's come to that moment where y'all are going to give your oath, tell us a little bit about yourselves, you know, what you do, what's your major, all that good stuff. And so I ask that you all stand and come up to the front. No, it's during his report.
There's also a few that didn't finish their package, but
Oh, sure.
they're just going to wait.
Okay, fine. Yeah. Hi, everyone. Yeah, come on in. Crowd it. Yeah, line up. Let's go. Face the crowd, everyone. All right, so I'm going to ask that y'all go down the line and say your name, your major, and why you decided to join the SGA. So I guess we could start with you.
I'm Tatiana. I'm a junior, and my major is visual arts with a concentration in photography. So I want to join the SGA to just be more involved and learn how you guys impact the campus and how you make it brighter for students. So I just want to be able to be a part of that and give back.
Hey.
I'm Andrew Lyons. I wanted to join SGA again because I want to keep making a positive difference on campus. My major is political science.
Hi, my name's Pedro. I'm also majoring in political science, and I decided to join this year. I just kind of want to be part of student government, you know, we're all.
All right. Nice.
Hi everyone, my name is Kelly Gerritsen. I'm a double major in economics and language, business, and culture with a concentration in Spanish. I'm coming back to the SGA after being abroad last spring. Super excited to be here and just love the conversations and important things that we discussed in legislature.
Hi, my name is Kevin Knight. I'm a computer science / IT major. I was part of the legislature from an organization from SASA for about a year or so, and I thought I'd make a difference, like how I made a difference in being a legislator, so I want to continue it. Do plan on trying to run for different positions in the SGA and make a difference of it all together.
Hi guys, my name's Tamar. I'm a business administration major with a double concentration in management and hospitality service management. And this is my first year joining the SGA, so I wanted to, you know, see what it's like to be in the SGA because I might want to pursue a career in this in the future.
Hey, I'm Savannah. I'm a junior communications and media arts major. I'm returning to the SGA legislature because I was like, just because like I thought that I would miss being a part of the decision making involved in the organizations on campus, and so I was like, I gotta do it. Gotta drop that yoga class. So I did.
Hi everyone, my name is Paulette. I am a history major with a minor in international studies. I know it sounds boring, but the reason why I wanted to join the SGA was solely because I wanted to be a part of something that was impacting our community, but also I wanted to help others and be not just a voice, but to kind of make everyone feel that we are listening to them, you know, that we do care, and that, like Jarrell was saying, we are students and we are for the students.
Good Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Santor Ayala. I'm a freshman, so I just graduated high school. And in high school, I was the vice president of my class. So hearing about the SGA first coming to orientation, I was like, I have to do this. So I'm just so happy to be here right now, and I hope to get to know all of you even better. Oh, and I'm a journalism major.
Wow.
So now what we do is everyone raise your right arm, right hand, and repeat after me. So when I say the first line, you always state your name at the same time.
Can I say the first line?
Not yet.
So I.
Kevin.
Yeah. We're gonna try again. We're gonna try again. After I say I, you say I, and you all say your name.
Yeah.
So I do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear
That I will faithfully execute the office of the legislator of the Student Government Association of Montclair State University Incorporated. And that I will, to the best of my ability, uphold the Constitution of the student government.
Congratulations. Welcome to your new positions, y'all. This is exciting. All right. I guess we'll move forward with the reports. All right. So congratulations, y'all, on swearing in. So we're actually going to go ahead and move forward with the reports. So I'm next. All right. Hi, everyone. So for those of you who don't know, I'm Jonathan, the Executive Vice President of the SGA. And I'm here to report to you about what I've been up to over the summer. What have we been up to as a collective board over the summer? Some initiatives we've been doing, some things we've been up to, all that good stuff. So I just have a couple things to report on pertaining to what I've been up to in the summer. It's been a pretty eventful summer, so I'd like to share some day-to-day duties that I've been performing. So for one, since the start of my term back in June, I've been training the newly chartered organizations that chartered last spring. Since then, I've been providing them with resources on how to establish themselves as an SGA organization after charterment, mainly just training them on SGA fundamentals and what we have to offer exactly. I've been busy catering to the needs of existing organizations by providing them with resources, guidance, and advice on how to serve in the best interest of the students. And I've finalized things like the Red Hawk accreditation system, which is a tier-based system designed to hold all organizations accountable for what is to be expected of them. And most importantly, what I've really been up to over the summer too, was for a majority of it, I spearheaded the programming of the annual SGA Fall Retreat, which was held off campus at the Edith Macy Conference Center this past August. So it was a great help, of course, with my board. They all chipped in. It was such a phenomenal event. We got such great feedback. And so basically the retreat was designed to incorporate a mix of team building and educational activities to encourage org leaders to collaborate and to network. At the retreat, the org leaders gained knowledge about various outreach resources, having members from CSI and the Department of Student Communications present at it. So those are pretty much the highlights of what I've been up to over the summer, but of course, that's just the beginning. So throughout the fall, I'll be chairing these legislative meetings that you're at today every week in order to discuss future initiatives through legislation and discussion. And during open forum, you'll get to hear a little bit more about what we would like to prioritize first as a board, of course, what needs to get done, all that good stuff. So stay tuned, and thank you all for your attention. All right, next board report.
Hi guys, how are you? How's everyone doing? Okay, so my name is Rama. I'm the executive treasurer. I'm just gonna run through my officer report. So the general corporate board shall be responsible for running and maintaining the corporate structure during the summer and winter breaks. The general corporate board shall be responsible for the general corporate administration throughout the year. This is straight from the statutes. As co-director of the corporate board, it was my responsibility to ensure that I have satisfied all of the following requirements. My requirements included learning and familiarizing myself with the financial policies and procedures, in order to adequately inform and train all SGA chartered organizations. I communicated with organizations throughout the summer to schedule various dates and times for training so that they may be able to access their budgets. And I have trained almost all organizations, with the exception to a few who have yet to reach out to me. I also was responsible for planning the annual senior trip and assessing all monetary and date details associated with that project, which as of now has been finalized. Further, I have been working on some individual projects, such as the paperless project. The objective of that project being to alleviate some of the paperwork influx that comes into the SGA Treasurer's Office. I have been brainstorming some on-campus dining hall proposals to better manage our food waste, and I have been considering some ideas. My responsibilities further included preparing for the annual audit. The contract between SGA and the Financial Audit Committee has been signed and sent. We are now waiting to finalize some field dates in which the auditors will inspect our practices and procedures. I was also meeting with any administrative departments alongside my board to introduce ourselves and to kickstart the year, as well as meeting with the SGA Financial Advisor, Dr. Marielle Pagan, on a monthly basis. I also worked to ensure that logistics of the SGA offices were completed, as well as the Student Organizations Resource Center, SORT, to make that space more comfortable and accessible to students and student boards. As a corporate board, we all worked together to facilitate the SGA retreat, as John said, which was an ultimate success, where we offered as many resources as we could and reaffirmed our determination to lead this organization in the best way possible.
All right, thank you, Rama. All right, any other reports? Take your time.
Hey everyone. Can I not sound so dead? Hey everyone. Hi. Okay. Now that's better. So for everyone who doesn't know, my name is Sharice and I'm executive secretary. And I'm just kind of like try to breeze through what I did over the summer. So over the summer, I've been working on new initiatives to implement during this academic year in regards to publicizing the SGA and more. I ordered new promotional items in hopes to give out to people at events, which some of you have already gotten some. If you went to the retreat, you got a shirt, the one I'm wearing right now. And I have been revamping the publicity team. So a quick summary of what the publicity team will be is they're going to assist me in creating flyers, contributing to any social media marketing plans, assist with the yearbook committee, and finally bring back SGA News. For those of you who don't know, SGA News was something that was implemented about 2 years ago, and it showcased different events that was hosted by our charter organizations on campus, and I thought it was just a really fun way to highlight what our organizations do on campus, and it also covered SLAM events too. So I want to bring that back this year just to show like what the SGA does and to show what SLAM does, just to give us that publicity that we need. Over the summer, myself, and the rest of my executive board members also discussed revising the clerk position within the SGA meeting. So as y'all see the camcorder in the back, we're recording the meetings instead of making the clerk position such a daunting process for all the legislators that was here last year. We all hated being the clerk because it took so long to do. But we're trying to record the meetings now and trying to find a speech to text video programming, so it can help you make the minutes a little bit easier so you're not there for 5 hours straight writing the minutes. And we're going to be uploading our SGA videos, like the meetings and the SGA News, to our upcoming YouTube channel, so stay tuned. Y'all all better subscribe to it. Just saying. Also, I revitalized how departments and organizations can co-sponsor with the SGA. Last year, it was just like you send out an email, and some of them kind of got lost in translation. So I just created 2 forms on HawkSync that either an organization can go to or a department can go to. You just fill out the form. It's about 5 to 10 questions. Nothing hard, but it's just easier for me to keep track of who's a co-sponsor or who wants to co-sponsor with the SGA, so nothing can get lost and the emails and all the emails that I'm getting. So just to give everyone an opportunity to co-sponsor with the SGA, and that's basically it.
Thank you, Sharice. All right, any other office reports? No report? Fair enough. All right, so let's go ahead and move into cabinet reports, but being that we don't really have an appointed cabinet yet, we're gonna go ahead and move forward. So committee reports, same thing, committees haven't been formed yet, so that's gonna be at a later date where we're gonna have that solidified. So we're gonna move ahead of that too. Programming as well, we're just gonna get right into new business, start considering these bills, and go at the pace in which we need to go at. So now moving into new business, we're gonna go ahead and consider bill number F 2019-001, Chief of Staff Boggins appointment. Is she here? You can come up. Yeah, you can start reading it.
Okay, now considering Bill F 2019-001 being enacted by the legislature of the Student Government Association, Montclair State University Incorporated, that whereas Giovanna Boggins has expressed interest in serving the students of Montclair State University, and whereas I have met with Giovanna multiple times this summer in regards to the position of Chief of Staff to discuss the duties and responsibilities for said position, and whereas I have found Giovanna Boggins to be prepared and fully qualified for this position. Be it resolved that Giovanna Boggins is appointed to the position of Chief of Staff for the 2019-2020 school year. Submitted by Jerome Saunders Didymus, SGA President, September 9, 2019.
All right, author's report. Anything in author's report?
Yes, so I would like to say, my reasoning for reaching out to Giovanna to appoint her as Chief of Staff is because she's very hardworking. She kind of kept me together last year in our class we had together and in SGA, which is a legislator. So I definitely took that as an advantage and reached out to her and seen she was interested in SGA. And she really was, and she's been on the road since I talked to her. So.
Questions for the author? All right, candidate report.
Hey y'all, I'm Giovanna Boggins, and my journalism is journalism. Wait, my major is So yeah, and I just want to fulfill the duties that are set out for me to do, and I'm always here for any of you guys if you need me. So.
All right, questions for the candidate? No? All right, committee report. James?
Okay, so because we don't have a committee right now, Government Administration Committee would usually handle all appointment bills. If someone decides to make the motion to go to committee as a whole, then we're gonna have committee with all the legislative members. And if anyone wants to know what committee as a whole is, you can ask me and I'll happily explain it to you.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, James. Andrew?
Motion to make committee as a whole.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, so we need a three.
What's going on?
Oh, all right. Let's backtrack a little bit. Oh, because you weren't at the training. No, I'm kidding. So the thing is with like committees, correct? So appointment bills, as you're seeing in the agenda, you're seeing all these bills, right? So being that bills are here, they're supposed to go through committee first. And there's a process usually not usually, there has to be a process where they have to get recommendations through committee. But being that it's like the start of the semester, we don't have committees formed yet. And that's done by the end of September, depending on your availability, of course, as legislators, being that you all have to chair these committees. So in that case, as an alternative, we do have the option of going into committee as a whole. That way, there would still be like a recommendation from a committee, being that y'all are all in it. So we would have to have someone motion to go into committee as a whole, and then have that. Yes.
And when you said second, everybody was like me.
Yeah, because with each motion, as you just made, there has to be a second. And so, good. All right. Does that make sense? Do I have to clarify anything else? I know this is our first meeting. Like, I'm sure y'all still have questions. Yes, James?
All right, there's also a second motion that could be done here. That's called discharging a committee. And that would get rid of the whole entire going to a committee process, but I would not recommend using that right now because as a lot of you are new legislators, it's good to see how a committee works, and this will give you a good opportunity to see it happen.
Any questions regarding that? No? Okay. Andrew.
Motion to move into committee, right?
Committee. Yes. Is there a second? Second. Okay. So we need a 3/4 majority vote in order to go into committee as a whole. So all of those in favor? Okay. And just be mindful, only legislators who were sworn in get to vote. So, okay. All those opposed? All of those abstaining? Seeing none, we are in committee and as a whole. All right. All right, so I guess we could go into just a discussion.
Yeah, like, go through the whole entire thing.
Sure. All right, so questions, authors report and committee. You said what you had to say. Okay, questions for the author and committee. Candidate report and committee. You said what you had to say. Questions for the candidate and committee. Debate and discussion. Andrew.
I was legislative with her all year, last year. She's great. You should vote yes. That's it.
Thank you, Andrew. Anything else in debate and discussion? All right, seeing none, we will now hold a vote. So for recommendation, we need a 3/4 majority vote. So all those in favor, all those opposed, all those abstaining, the recommendation passes. Now we go into debate and discussion. Correct.
Again,
James.
I'll explain the process. Because we just went to committee as a whole and we gave all of you gave a recommendation as a committee, even though you gave a positive recommendation to the candidate, then we still need to go out and come back into the legislative session, have debate and discussion again, and then give your formal legislative vote on your opinion on the bill.
Mm-hmm. And see, once we have committee, that'll all be done within the committee. So we could just go straight into debate and discussion, as we will now. So debate and discussion on this bill that we're considering. Again, you said your thing. Anyone else? All right, seeing none, we will now hold the vote. We need a 2/3 majority vote in order for this bill to pass. All those in favor? All those opposed? All those abstaining? Bill passes. Congratulations. All right. Thank you. James?
I forgot to introduce myself before. My name is James Rush. I'm the Attorney General for the SGA, which means I basically review and try to uphold the statutes that we have written, and the statutes are, especially in the Constitution, are the laws that define how the SGA works and operates. So I will be here every meeting. I go over how the constitutionality of a bill. I give my recommendations on the bills because of that. And if any of you have questions about the statutes, please don't be afraid to ask me about them.
Thank you. Questions for James? Okay. All right, so now we will go ahead and move forward with new business. So we will now consider our next bill. So Bill F 2019-002, that is Director of Class 1 Estrada appointment.
Now considering Bill F 2019-002, being enacted by the legislature of the Student Government Association of Montclair State University Incorporated, that whereas Guillermo Estrada has expressed interest in serving the students of Montclair State University, and whereas I have met with Guillermo multiple times this summer in regards to the position of Director of Class 1 organizations to discuss the duties and responsibilities for said position, and whereas I have found Guillermo Estrada to be prepared and fully qualified for this position, be it resolved that Guillermo Estrada is appointed to the position of Director of Class 1 Organizations for the 2019-2020 school year, submitted by Gerald Saunders Dynamis, SGA President, September 9th, 2019.
Author's report.
So I would like to say as well, when I first put the application out on Auxing, I didn't expect to get as many responses to be on the president's cabinet. So when I did get the responses and things like that, he was Guillermo, which he can say when he talked what he preferred his name to be. He actually, on his application, reached out to be Class 2 director. And when he had an interview, he kind of stated, he told me and Sharice, the secretary, was in the interview that he would be willing to be open to any position that was available. He wants to get involved and that he really just wanted to challenge himself as a student leader this year. And I really recommended that he would become Class 1 director.
Questions for the author? Okay, candidates report?
My name is Guillermo, but everybody calls me G. Call me G. I'm an exercise science major. I'm a sophomore. Well, I'm very excited to work with the Class 1 organizations because for one, they actually reach out to the majority of the population of these students. So I want to make sure that I'm helping them out in everything they do to publicize the SGA as well. That's definitely one of my goals for this year. And I'm just very excited you can come to me for any questions and I'll hopefully have an answer for it.
Questions for the candidate? Okay, committee report. Kevin?
Motion to for the committee as a whole.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, we need a 3/4 majority vote in order to go into committee as a whole. All those in favor? All those opposed? All those abstaining? We are now in committee as a whole. Okay, so authors report in committee. So what you had to say? Good. Questions for the author in committee? Candidates report in committee. Good. Questions for the candidate in committee? Kelly.
Point of information?
Correct.
Okay. Point of information. Have you been involved in any Class 1 organizations in your freshman year here at Montclair?
Yes, I've been to various events and general body meetings for HSA, BSU, LASSO, and I currently serve on the executive board of the Brotherhood Latin Manda, a Class 2 organization. Hopefully to become a Class 1 organization.
Anything else in debate and discussion in committee? Seeing none, we will now hold a vote for recommendation. We need a 3/4 majority vote in order to get a recommendation. All those in favor? All those opposed? All those abstaining? Committee recommendation has been made. All right, so now we will move into debate and discussion on this bill. Anyone? Okay. Seeing none, we need a 2/3 majority vote in order for the bill to pass. All those in favor? All those opposed? All those abstaining? Bill passes. Congratulations. Oh, I took it down. 9-0. So as soon as we have the vote, let's announce it.
Yeah, ask everyone to vote, and then you say, okay, that's a 9-0.
Positive recommendation, and then we go into debate and discussion. Yes. I did count. Yeah, so that's what we're doing. Yeah, we're doing. No, we're doing it. Yeah, we can. All right. We will now move forward. Okay, so now considering Bill F 2019-003, Director of Class 2, appointment? I hope I said that right.
How do you say
I'm sorry, how do we pronounce your last name? Chia?
Oh, Aqua.
Aqua. Okay.
Okay. Now considering Bill F 2019-003, being enacted by the legislature of the Student Government Association, Montclair University Incorporated, that whereas Christine Aqua has expressed interest in serving the students of Montclair State University, and whereas I have met with Christine multiple times this summer in regards to the position of Director of Class 2 organizations to discuss the duties and responsibilities for said position, and whereas I have found Christine Aqua to be prepared and fully qualified for this position, be it resolved that Christine Aqua is appointed to the position of Director of Class 2 organizations for the 2019-2020 school year. Submitted by Jerome Saunders Didymus, SGA President, September 9th, 2019.
Author's report.
So I would like to say Christine is a former scholar of mine. I was a peer leader 2 summers ago, and she was one of the incoming freshmen that I was able to oversee. And since then, I've noticed that she really wanted to get involved, and she took the time out to apply to the presidential's cabinet. And in her application, she stated that she wanted to be any class director. It didn't matter. She just really wanted to get involved and be able to help these organizations when it comes to their questions and answers that they didn't get in the past, and that she really wants to work. She really wants to work hard with these Class 2 organizations to help them improve as an organization to be able to charter as Class 1. So that's my report.
Questions for the author? Candidate's report.
Well, hi guys, my name is Christine. I'm majoring in jurisprudence law society. I have 2 minors in paralegal studies and American studies. I'm a junior, and well, I just, like he said, I wanted to join just to be a really good Class 2 director, because I feel like maybe the other years they weren't really responding to the boards a lot, so I just wanted to be the best person I could be for them.
Thank you. Questions for the candidate? No. Committee report. Kevin.
Motion to dismiss committee.
Is there a second? Wait, you mean,
not
no,
dismiss.
not dismiss.
Discharge.
There you go. All right, say it again.
Motion to discharge committee.
Is there a second?
Second.
We need a 3/4 majority vote in order to discharge committee. All those in favor? All those opposed? All those abstaining?
Everyone's aware of what discharging committee is, right?
Yeah.
That you don't want to go to committee, and you just want to go straight to debate, discussion, and vote on the bill.
Yeah.
Everyone's aware. Okay.
Should we do the vote again?
No.
Okay. All right. So, vote again?
No.
Okay.
They already did.
All right, so committee has been discharged. Yay. All right, so now debate and discussion on the bill. Anyone? Seeing none, we need a 2/3 majority vote in order for this bill to pass. All those in favor? Raise your hands high, please. All those opposed? All those abstaining? Bill passes. Congratulations. Okay, now we'll go ahead and move forward. So now considering Bill F 2019-004, Director of Class 3 Weaver appointment.
Now considering Bill F 2019-004 being enacted by the legislature of the Student Government Association of Montclair State University Incorporated, that whereas Naj Weaver has expressed interest in serving the students of Montclair State University, and whereas I have met with Naj multiple times this summer in regards to the position of Director of Class 3 organizations to discuss the duties and responsibilities for said position, and whereas I have found Naj Weaver to be prepared and fully qualified for this position, be it resolved that Naj Weaver is appointed to the position of Director of Class 3 Organizations for the 2019-2020 school year. Submitted by Jarrell Saunders Didymus, SGA President, September 9th, 2019.
Author's report.
Hello, everyone. So also, again, when I reached out and sent the Hawks thing, talking about the Hawks thing, right? When I first sent out the form for the presidential cabinet, I didn't know that it was going to go to all 17,000 students. I thought I was just like posting it on the news post, like on like HawkSync, and it went. So we was like really bombarded with a lot of applications, and we wasn't expecting to get as many. I believe we got 80, and so we had to like go through each application and look at everyone's answers and kind of figuring out why they really want to get involved. And Naj's answer really stood out from a lot of applications that I did see. Usually people say just because they want to get involved and things like that, but she chose to talk about how she felt as though a lot of organizations don't get heard because they like class 4s and class 3s because of them being like a low budget organizations, that she wanted to kind of help uplift them and also help them become a higher class organization in the SGA.
Any questions for the author? Candidate's report. Yep.
Hey guys, I'm Naj. I'm a journalism major. I'm excited that there's a couple more. See you over there. Like he said, I'm very determined to be the voice, especially for class 3, because they aren't heard. A lot of them I personally have never heard of. So I'm very excited to work with them and work with everyone at SGA this year.
Thanks. Questions for the candidate? No? Committee report? Kevin? Is there a second?
Second.
We need a 3/4 majority vote in order to discharge committee. All those in favor? All those opposed? All those abstaining? Committee has been discharged. Debate and discussion on this bill. No? Seeing none, we need a 2/3 majority vote in order for this bill to pass. All those in favor? All those opposed? All those abstaining? Bill passes. Congratulations. Okay. We'll now go ahead and move forward. So now considering Bill F 2019-005, Director of Class 4 Owusu appointment? I hope I got that right. Owusu, yes.
Okay. I don't want to mess up her name. Now announcing Bill, now considering Bill number F 2019-005 being enacted by the legislature of the Student Government Association of Montclair State University Incorporated, that whereas Ashley Owusu, is that right?
Yep.
Has expressed interest in serving the students of Montclair State University, and whereas I have met with Ashley multiple times this summer in regards to the position of Director of Class 4 Organizations to discuss the duties and responsibilities for said position, and whereas I have found Ashley Owusu to be prepared and fully qualified for this position, be it resolved that Ashley Owusu is appointed to the position of Director of Class 4 Organizations for the 2019-2020 school year. Submitted by Jarrell Saunders Didymus, SGA President, September 9th, 2019.
Author's report.
Hey, everybody. Ashley reached out actually prior to us putting putting out the application, and she was kind of checking in on us to see when we were going to drop the application. And when we did drop it, she applied and she wanted to be a Class 1 director because that's what she was usually involved in. But then we had an interview with her. She expressed the fact that she wouldn't mind being any class director. And she, we told her, we kind of gave her, how should I say, we kind of gave her a summary of how all the organizations work within the different classes, the budgets and things like that. And she really, she was expressed the fact that she would like to help out the Class 4 organizations because she didn't know there were so many, and she kind of wanted to get them out there more as well. So.
Questions for the author? Candidate support.
Hi everybody, I'm Ashley. I'm a senior, I'm a psychology major. I double minor in cognitive science and gender, women, and sexuality studies. I'm a mentor in the CHSS Mentor Collective Program. I work as a service assistant in Denali Heights. I'm a coordinator of HSA Dance Troupe, and now this. Yeah, and I really wanted to do this because I wanted to force myself to take on more leadership roles. Even though I'm doing a lot, I still felt like I could do more. And the Student Government Association is one thing that I never, at first I didn't see myself getting involved with, but then when I really started to read what the roles would be and the responsibilities, I was like, I really can do this, and I really want to help make a change and make a difference and help the Class 4 organizations really be heard and get to where they need to be so they can become Class 3. Yeah.
Thank you. Questions for the candidate? No. Committee report? Kevin?
Motion to discharge committee.
Is there a second?
Second.
In order to discharge committee, we need a 3/4 majority vote. All those in favor? All those opposed? All those abstaining? Committee has been discharged. Debate and discussion on this bill?
Point of information to the Attorney General.
Sure. Yes.
Is there a possibility to dismiss committee as a whole for all the bills at once, or it has to be individually?
It has to be individually.
Anything else in debate and discussion? Seeing none, we need a 2/3 majority vote in order for this bill to pass. All those in favor? All those opposed? All those abstaining? Bill passes. Congratulations. Getting through it. Let's keep going. All right. Now considering Bill F 2019-006, Director of Student Affairs Lane appointment.
Now considering Bill F 2019-006 being enacted by the Legislature of the Student Government Association of Montclair State University Incorporated, that whereas Princess Lane has expressed interest in serving the students of Montclair State University, and whereas I have met with Princess multiple times this summer in regards to the position of Director of Student Affairs to discuss the duties and responsibilities for said position, and whereas I have found Princess Lane to be fully prepared and qualified for this position. Be it resolved that Princess Lane is appointed to the position of Director of Student Affairs for the 2019-2020 school year, submitted by Darrell Saunders Didymus, SGA President, September 9, 2019.
Author's report.
Hello, everybody. So, Princess, I seen Princess around. I never really knew her, but I always seen her in the office. I always seen her involved doing something. And when she submitted an application and we brought her in for an interview, hearing that she really wants to get involved more with everything that she already does, kind of stood out to me as well, because I do see she does a lot, and the fact that she wanted to be a voice for the students and be a part of the Student Affairs Committee to sit on and hear students' concerns kind of stuck out to me too. So yeah.
Thanks. Questions for the author? Candidate support.
Hi, my name is Princess. I'm currently a senior, majoring in psychology, minoring in public health. I initially wanted to get involved in the SGA presidential cabinet as Director of Student Affairs in order to better improve campus life and student development by having regular meetings with Dr. Pennington, and I will be able to hopefully enhance campus life, and I do have a meeting with her within the next 2 weeks as well.
Questions for the candidate? Committee report?
Motion to
Andrew?
discharge committee.
Is there a second? In order to discharge committee, we need a 3/4 majority vote. All those in favor? All those opposed? All those abstaining? Committee has been discharged. Debate and discussion on this bill? Okay, seeing none, we need a 2/3 majority vote in order for this bill to pass. All those in favor? All those opposed? All those abstaining? Bill passes. Congratulations. to consider another bill, not in this order. It's a justice bill. Yeah, she can make a motion, right? Okay. Jill, a legislator has to make a motion. Yeah. Okay, which bill is it?
This one, 11, but she has to leave by 4:15. She told me she has to be at a meeting with her advisor at 4:15.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and break up the order of what we have on the agenda. So we're actually going to consider Bill, well, someone would have to make a motion to consider Bill F 2019-011. Andrew.
Motion to consider 2019-011.
Is there a second? Is there a vote? Do we vote? Okay, we need a 2/3 majority vote in order to consider this bill at this time. All those in favor? All those opposed? All those abstaining? We will now consider Bill F 2019-011, Associate Justice Sultane appointment. Sultane?
How do you pronounce your last name? Okay. Now considering Bill number F29-001 being enacted by the legislature of the Student Government Association of Montclair State University Incorporated, that whereas Saza Al-Hussein has expressed interest in serving the students of the Montclair State University, and whereas I have met with Saza on several occasions and discussed her plans and goals for the position of justice, and whereas I have found Saza to be prepared and fully qualified for this position. Be it resolved that Saza Al-Hussein is appointed to the position of Associate Justice for the full 2019-2020 academic year, submitted by Jarrell Saunders Didymus, SGA President, September 9th, 2019.
Author's report.
Hello, everybody. So I've seen Shaza. Yep. I've seen Shaza in the office since spring semester. And just talking to her and hearing that she wanted to be a part of the justice again and staying involved really stood out to me as well. And she also really wants to stick on the justice team to make sure that she can be able to handle all different situations when it comes her way.
Thank you. Questions for the author? Nope. Candidate's report?
Hi guys, so I'm a sophomore majoring in jurisprudence, law and society, and poli-sci. I've been a justice since last fall, I believe, yes, last fall. And because of the dynamics and it constantly changing, we worked, as the justices, we worked on how to maintain the change that came to our department and our branch. And I honestly think that our team staying the same way it is, or even having new additions, but that people that know the way that we work and we've worked in the past stay on the team. I just think it's an efficient way to keep the justice branch, or the judicial branch rather, just moving functionally and efficiently.
Questions for the candidate? Committee report? Andrew?
Motion to discharge committee.
Is there a second? In order to discharge committee, we need a 3/4 majority vote. All those in favor? All those opposed? All those abstaining? Committee has been discharged. Debate and discussion on this bill? Seeing none, we will need a 2/3 majority vote in order for this bill to pass. All those in favor? All those opposed? All those abstaining? Bill passes. Congratulations. Back in the order? Yeah. Okay, we'll now go ahead and consider Bill F 2019-007, Director of Academic Affairs, Aqua appointment. Yeah.
Now considering Bill number F 2019-007 being enacted by the legislature of the Student Government Association of Montclair State University Incorporated, that whereas Christina Aqua has expressed interest in serving the students of Montclair State University, and whereas I have met with Christina multiple times this summer in regards to the position of Director of Academic Affairs to discuss the duties and responsibilities for said position, and whereas I have found Christina Aqua to be prepared and fully qualified for this position. Be it resolved that Christina Aqua is appointed to the position of Director of Academic Affairs for the 2019-2020 school year, submitted by Jarrell Saunders Didymus, SGA President, September 9, 2019.
Author's report.
Hello, everybody again. So when when I first met with Christina, me and the executive secretary, for her interview, one of her main concerns was being a voice for students when it comes to their classroom. A lot of times students don't know like how to go about certain situations when it comes to even needing a tutor or needing just getting, I guess, more information within that classroom. A lot of students don't know how to do so. She wants to be she told me she wanted to be an advocate for a lot of students and also help them out when it comes to maybe being accused of cheating when they wasn't. Like little things like that that she really wants to tackle and kind of be able to assist a lot of students when it comes to those situations. She can also share what she's a part that she's doing now. So, yeah.
Questions for the author? Candidates report.
Hi guys, my name is Christina again. I'm a junior majoring in biology. For the past 2 years, I've been a supplemental instructor for writing here at MSU. Also a part of a program called Lewis Stokes Alliance for Minority Students, which is a STEM program that I'm hoping to be a mentor for this school year. And I'm part of this program called Women's Leadership Academy. I also worked at Webster as a desk assistant for tutoring and things like that. So I guess I really wanted to be a part of this this board and be an academic director because I've been surrounded by that a lot. Although I'm a bio major, I'm really interested in other different areas of academics like writing, like I said, and just helping people out when it comes to doing what they should. Like if a teacher doesn't give you the right grade, like you shouldn't just sit there and deal with it. You should speak up and things like that. So I've done that for myself already. So I want to be able to help other people do that as well.
Questions for the candidate? James?
Seeing as you were just appointed for the Class 2 position, do you have enough time in your schedule?
Was it?
Yeah.
It's Christine and Christina.
So they're twins! Yeah, they're on here twice.
That is a good question, though.
Okay. Does that make it clear? All right. All right, questions for the candidate.
Oh, y'all thought it was the same person?
No. Is it clear now? Different person. All right. All right, we're all good. Good. All right. Questions for the candidate. Seeing none. Committee report. Andrew.
Motion to discharge committee.
Is there a second? In order to discharge committee, we need a 3/4 majority vote. All those in favor? All those opposed? All those abstaining? Committee has been discharged. Okay. Debate and discussion on this bill. Seeing none. All right. In order for this bill to pass, we need a 2/3 majority vote. All those in favor? All those opposed? All those abstaining? Bill passes. Congratulations. We could do it. Should we do it now? Yeah.
Someone's supposed to do it.
No, they abstained, but just to kind of put it up.
James?
All right, everyone. I don't think this happened yet, but just to let you all know that if you step out of the room while a bill is being discussed, or let's say you left the room before the bill was being discussed, but when you come back, it's in the middle of discussion, when it's called for a vote, you have to abstain because you did not hear all information occurring, so you wouldn't be able to make a proper vote on the bill. So just a reminder in the future, if that ever happens, to abstain.
Sure.
Or if you have a personal conflict with what the
Yeah, we could. Bill. Okay. Who are the ones who just walked in? Gabriella? Great, hi. Any other legislators that didn't get sworn in yet, just walk in? All right, so being that she's here, should we go ahead and swear her in?
There's two.
You have to
go back into office report. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and move forward and swear them in now that y'all are here. So we're gonna actually move back into officer's report.
You have a motion.
Motion. Andrew?
Motion to move back to officer's report.
Is there a second?
Second.
I'm gonna vote. We're now back in officer's report. All right, so I'm gonna ask that you come up here and you're gonna go ahead and give your name, your major, and why you decided to join the SGA. Both of you, get up here. Yeah. Hi. Over here.
because we have legislators.
To vote for it, okay.
Goodness. Oh, okay. I'm Yvette. I'm studying, well, my major is mathematics and applied. Why I wanted to join the SGA, I wanted to have a voice for freshmen since we're still all coming in. We just want to make a difference and everything. And I like the vibe. I think cool.
Cool.
So I'm Gabriella, and this is my second semester being a legislator. My major is economics and political science, and also with a whoop, right? So like, and then a minor in French. And so I want to be a legislator because I think it's a good thing to be involved in, and I like the organization. That's it.
Cool. All right.
So now, I'm gonna need you guys to raise your right hand. And after the first line, y'all both gonna say your name at the same time. So once I say I, you'll repeat and then say your name. Okay? So I,
Gabriella. Yvette.
do solemnly swear. Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear. Do solemnly swear.
Wait.
Okay,
sorry.
so
Yeah, I was saying we're gonna start over. We gonna do it together. All right. So I,
Yvette. I, Gabriella.
do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the office of the legislator
the office of the legislator
of the Student Government Association
of the Student Government Association
of Montclair State University Incorporated,
of Montclair State University Incorporated,
and that I will,
that I will,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
uphold the Constitution of the student government.
uphold the Constitution of the student government.
Congratulations! You want to mention that?
So,
Oh, can y'all still stay up here?
guys, not congratulations yet, because there needs to be a vote held by the legislature. But the reason why we didn't have a vote when all of you guys were sworn in is because there was no legislature. So now that we have you, we're going to vote for these guys. And for everyone else who becomes a legislator, they will be voted in as well.
All right. So did y'all all get that? So in order for them to be sworn in, we need a 2/3 majority vote. So all of those in favor? All of those opposed? All of those abstaining? Passes. Congratulations. All right. Kelly.
Motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
Actually, let me add something. So we actually have a guest here with us from the Board of Trustees, and being that we have time constraints, they just want to like add something before they have to go. So if someone can make a motion to go into open forum, Andrew.
Motion to go into open forum.
Is there a second? We are now in open forum. The floor is yours, Nikita.
Thank you. I've got to try to professor at grad school at 4:30, so. So hi, my name is Nikita, and wow, y'all, there are a lot more overachievers in the legislative board than I thought there'd be. I'm really happy about that. First meeting I didn't attend when I was a legislator. It took me a while to get the packets out, but wow, we did that. I'm excited. So I sit on the Board of Trustees, and that's a very big picture position. It also sounds super intimidating, and I know I'm dressed like a flight attendant, but I'm not that intimidating. So the Board of Trustees looks at big picture issues in the university and big picture decisions. So for example, I just got to vote on the strategic plan up until 2025. So very, very big picture in terms of budget, in terms of enrollment sizes, in terms of new majors, new minors, new programs. I have office hours in the SORC, so if you ever want to talk about it, I will absolutely talk your ear off. However, I'm here on a favor from Dr. Pennington. So there's a resource for students who cannot afford textbooks called the Emergency Book Fund. And the Emergency Book Fund is a resource for students who demonstrate financial hardship, even though all students are open to inquire about it, where they can get school supplies without provided by the school. So that's really important to me. I think that all students should be able to access education equally. However, the demand for the Emergency Book Fund is about 2 times higher than the resources that are available, because a lot of students are broke college students. So currently there's a fundraiser up until 10 a.m. on September 13th to raise $5,000 for the Emergency Book Fund. If we raise $5,000 from the community, then the Parents Fund at Montclair State will match it. So that means $10,000 total raised for the Emergency Book Fund, which I think is incredible. Currently, we're about 89% there. I think it's
$4,475 last time I checked. So if you would like to spread the word to your friends, to your rich uncles and aunts, to anyone in your family who's feeling charitable, that donation is open. Dr. Pennington sent an email that said back to school means books, 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 which I assume about half of the students deleted as soon as they saw it. But the link to that is there. I also have an Instagram account called MSU Student Trustees. So you can absolutely find a link to the book fund in the bio of that Instagram account. And that's all I have, but I'll definitely be back here to yap about the student trustees and to see your faces and to see the legislator grow, because I was a legislator 2 years ago, and it really is a fantastic leadership springboard, and I'm really happy that there's already such a good size. So thank you.
Thank you, Nikita.
I was going to ask you if you would tell them how do you apply to be.
Oh, cool.
If you want to add.
Absolutely. So,
She's back.
I'm sorry, I tried to be funny because my position's not really intimidating. So I absolutely want as many students as possible to sit on the, to be interested in the Board of Trustees. So absolutely, my contact information is easily spread. A lot of people know my number here. I will give out my number to anyone who's interested in the Board of Trustees. Which probably isn't a good decision, but it's a decision I make. No, that's fine. But the Board of Trustees is decided through the SGA elections. So just the same as the president, the vice president, the secretary, and the treasurer ran campaigns, I did the exact same thing. Only my position was unopposed, so I was the only one running, and that was really, really great because I didn't have to stress about it. However, I would absolutely not like that to happen this year. I want to see Hunger Games style dramatic elections because I want students to care about it, and I want students to really rise to the occasion, because it sounds super intimidating, but I promise you if a psychology major can sit in an audit, finance, and investment committee and actually say something impressive, you can do it too. So yeah.
You have to be a freshman, right?
So, that's the only issue. You have to be a freshman or sophomore when you are applying because there's a credit limit. You can't be in your last year applying for Board of Trustees because it's a 2-year long term. The first year is non-voting, the second year is voting. And one day I'll consolidate all that in my PowerPoint probably and hopefully present that. But if you have any questions or any interest in student trustees at all, I would love to have a small group of students who just kind of watch me do my work and talk to me about what I do every day, because I think my job's really cool. And the more I yammer on to people, the more they think it too. So thank you.
Thank you, Nikita. All right, so we're going to go back into the order of the day. Andrew?
Motion to consider Bill 2019-008.
Pause. You have to go back into new business.
Okay.
Kelly? Is there a second?
Second.
We are now back in new business. All right, so now we're going to go back into the order of the day. All right, so now considering Bill F 2019-008, Director of Equity and Diversity, Meha appointment. Meha? Go.
Now considering Bill number F 2019-008, being enacted by the legislature of the Student Government Association of Montclair State University Incorporated, that whereas Rachel Mejia has expressed interest in serving the students of Montclair State University, and whereas I've met with Rachel multiple times this summer in regards to the position of Director of Equity and Diversity to discuss duties and responsibilities for said position, and whereas I have found Rachel Mejia to be prepared and fully qualified for this position. Be it resolved that Rachel Mejia is appointed to the position of Director of Equity and Diversity, which shall now be known as the Director of Social Justice and Diversity, to comply with the name change of the Office of Social Justice and Diversity for the 2019-2020 school year. Submitted by Jarrell Saunders Didymus, SGA President, September 9, 2019.
Author's report.
So I just want to say, so the name change of the office, it was called Equity and Diversity before, but they changed the Office of Social Justice and Diversity. So we decided to change that within SGA too. So Rachel actually reached out to getting involved before the application as well. And when the application came out, she expressed the fact that she really was interested in sitting on this director position because she'll be an advocate for so many students. She's involved in the OSAD community, and she really feels as though that she will try her best to make everyone involved. Try her best to make everyone feel included. Sorry. There we go.
Questions for the author? Candidates report.
So hi guys, my name is Rachel. I am in my 4th year here at MSU, but I'll be here for extra semester. And my major is family science and human development with a concentration in family services. So I'm looking forward to having 2 careers as a high school social worker and a counselor for families. So what I was interested in with this position was that I relate so closely to the, I guess the departments that are under the social justice and diversity aspect, that category. Yeah, that. I relate very closely to those communities, and I've just always been like a person who always wants to help. So I know that if I can get people involved, that's one step closer to helping them in some type of way, whether it is taking them out of their comfort zone or just them being involved for the first time. Like, this is my first time being involved in anything since high school. So, yeah.
Thank you. Questions for the candidate? No? Committee report? Kevin. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, in order to discharge committee, we need a 3/4 majority vote. All those in favor? All those opposed? All of those abstaining? Committee has been discharged. Debate and discussion on this bill. James?
Okay, everyone, I'm going to need your full attention for what I'm about to say because it's going to seem pretty heavy, and I will explain more if you want. But as Attorney General, it's my duty to review the constitutionality of all bills, and I have to review this bill. I have to deem it unconstitutional because it's suggesting that we change the name of a director position that's already stated in the statutes to changing it from Equity University to Director of Social Justice University. But now that I've stated that it's unconstitutional, because I need to say that, you all have the option to override what I'm saying and still approve the appointment of this position. So even though this part is unconstitutional, if you were to deny the appointment of the candidate here, that means that we would not have a director, which I'm not suggesting that you do. I can't make any suggestions to you, but I just needed it to be known that this is an unconstitutional bill. Yeah.
Okay, questions for James. Kelly?
Bit of information.
Yes.
Can we make a formal amendment to the bill to exclude that part, or would that?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Sure. Kelly? Well, let's go back into author's report. All right.
Motion, is it motion?
Yes.
Formal amendment. Just remove the part that suggests the name change, so which shall be known as the director of social justice. Just take out all of that sentence.
So,
That bracketed.
got it. So then it'll just go ahead and read that Rachel May has appointed to the position of Director of Equity and Diversity for the 2019-2020 school year. Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. In order to make the formal amendment, we need a 2/3 majority vote. All those in favor? All those opposed? All those abstaining? Amendments have been made. Okay. So questions for the author? Okay. We'll go back now to candidate report. We did that. Committee report. Kevin? Is there a second?
Second.
Oh, we did that already. Oh, rewind. Debate and discussion on this bill. Seeing none, we need a 2/3 majority vote in order for this bill to pass. All those in favor? All those opposed? All those abstaining? Bill passes. Congratulations.
And this is a change that can be made in the future when the statutes come up for revision. So just letting you all know that it's not like a permanent thing where it's staying as Equity and Diversity forever, but when the statutes are reviewed, and you can make a suggestion to change the name for that.
Thank you. All right, so now go ahead. We're going to go ahead and consider Bill F 2019-009, Director of Alumni Relations and Norville appointment.
Now considering Bill number F 2019-009 being enacted by the legislature of the Student Government Association, Montclair State University Incorporated, that whereas Dan Norvell has expressed interest in serving the students of Montclair State University, and whereas I've met with Dan multiple times this summer in regards to the position of Director of Alumni Relations to discuss the duties and responsibilities for said position, and whereas I have found Dan Norvell to be prepared and fully qualified for this position. Be it resolved that Dan Norville is appointed to the position of Director of Alumni Relations for the fall 2019-2020 school year, submitted by Jarrell Saunders Didymus, SGA President, September 9, 2019.
Authors report.
Hello, everybody, again. So, when we first put this position out there, it wasn't something that a lot of people wanted to get involved in the past. But Dan wanted to apply for the alumni relations position because he felt as though, in his interview, he stated that he feels as though there should be more connections with all of the student leaders who are involved within the SGA in 10 years from now. So one big project that he wants to work on is getting all the student leaders involved now and keeping our information, starting a document with all our information, their positions for the future 10 years from now or whenever SGA want to reach back to old alumni. So, and I thought that was a really great idea to work with the, what are they? Alumni Relations Department in Overlook.
Questions for the author? Committee report?
Hello,
Candidate report.
Candidate
I am so sorry.
Hello everyone, my name is Daniel Norval. I'm a junior. I'm a public relations major with a minor in leadership development through civic engagement. I'm part of the Male Leadership Academy here on campus. I'm also a part of the Honor Leadership Program, which is a community service program here on campus. And the reason why I want to join SGA is because I just want to serve the clubs here, and I just want to the best of my ability. And like Jarrell said, like came to my knowledge that some of the clubs that don't have like lists of their alumni, so I just want to like work on that. Hopefully.
Questions for the candidate? Committee report. Kevin.
Motion to discharge committee.
Is there a second?
Second.
In order to discharge committee, we need a 3/4 majority vote. All those in favor? All those opposed? All those abstaining? Committee has been discharged. James.
Just a reminder, if you were just sworn in as a legislator, you can start voting on things like that. Just a reminder.
Thanks, James. Okay. Debate and discussion on this bill. Seeing none, we need a 2/3 majority vote in order for this bill to pass. All those in favor? All those opposed? All those abstaining? Bill passes. Congratulations. Okay. Is Associate Justice Jackson here? Got it. Now considering Bill F 2019-010, Associate Justice Jackson appointment.
Now considering Bill number F 2019-010 being enacted by the legislature of the Student Government Association Montclair State University Incorporated, that whereas Eric Jackson has expressed interest in serving the students of Montclair State University, and whereas I have met with Eric on several occasions and discussed his plans and goals for the position of justice, and whereas I have found Eric to be prepared and fully qualified for this position. Be it resolved that Eric Jackson is appointed to the position of Associate Justice for the full 2019-2020 academic year. Submitted by Jarrell Saunders Didymus, SGA President, September 9, 2019.
Authors report.
Hey everybody. So Eric has again he also reached out to me when the semester first ended, when he knew I was about to get in office, and the rest of us as well. He came by and said that he really enjoyed his position being a justice last year and that he wanted to continue it. So we definitely talked about some things that he wants to revamp or talk about with the rest of his justice.
Questions for the author? Candidates report.
Alright, hey guys, I'm Eric. I'm a senior here, and I studied political science with a minor in Greek law and African American studies. I was a justice last year, and I want to be a justice this year because I feel like we have a lot more work to do in our branch to make it stronger. And I see the e-board this year is looking really strong, and I see the legislators, it's going to be strong too. And I just want to still work for the student body group.
Questions for the candidate? Committee report. Kevin.
Motion to discharge committee.
Is there a second?
Second.
In order to discharge committee, we need a 3/4 majority vote. All those in favor? All those opposed? All those abstaining? Committee has been discharged. Debate and discussion on this bill. Seeing none, we need a 2/3 majority vote in order for this bill to pass. All those in favor? All those opposed? All those abstaining? Bill passes. Congratulations. All right, last one. All right, now considering Bill. Is Tamer here?
No.
Not here. All right, so we're going to go ahead and consider placing. Okay.
Unless you want to put this bill.
We'll do it next week. All right, so Kelly,
Motion to consider this bill at a later date.
is there a second? Second. In order to consider the bill at a later date, we need a 2/3 majority vote. All those in favor? All those opposed? All those abstaining? The bill will be considered at a later date. Yeah. Are they here? Oh, good. All right, so seeing that we got through new business, I'm going to commend y'all for putting through that. So thank you so much for bearing with us. So we're going to go ahead and move into open forum. Marielle?
I have a request. Your Dean of Students walked in. I don't know if any of you saw her. So Dean Carter was here for a few minutes, and so she asked me to make this announcement to the group. And then if you can also share it to the link that I'm going to talk about to the legislators afterwards. So on Sunday, October 6th, Montclair State University is participating in Downtown Caldwell is having an event on Bloomfield Avenue. And they are looking to have student leaders, faculty, and staff attend this event for 2-hour shifts to promote Montclair State University. It's kind of seen as a recruitment event for potential new students in the future. It's October 6th, which is a Sunday, from 12 to 5. And I sent the VP and the president the link for how you can sign up. And it's just a great way to show pride and to show people what you love about being here at Montclair, and asking you to wear Montclair something if you do volunteer at this event. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Pagan. All right. All right, anything else in open forum? Daniela?
So, hello. My name is Daniela. I'm the director for Program Creation in Montclair. And then we have here.
Hi, I'm Enola. I'm the director of finance for Slate.
So we're the program board of the SGA. If you didn't know, we're in charge of a lot of the large-scale events we do here on campus, including just general events like homecoming, spring week, and general events that we just had also this past week, Friday. It was fall friendly. We had a little rough patch. Stay out. We're also in charge of winter ball, spring bash, so formal events as well as off-campus trips. We're having one right now actually to go indoor skydiving at I-5 if y'all are interested. Definitely buy a ticket. What else? New concerts or any general live entertainment event, whether it be comedy show, concert, etc. And yeah.
Thank you.
So that's Montclair.
Questions for Daniela? No? All right, anything else in open forum? James?
Hey, everyone. There's another position in the SGA that's available to all of you to participate in, known as the student advocate position. It's in the judicial branch. You can be the student advocate and the legislator at the same time. So I suggest you all check it out in the statutes if you want to do something like that. You can ask me about it because I was a student advocate last year. You can ask your president or any members of the judicial branch if you want to know about it.
Thank you, James. Hunter?
Point of information. There's only one position for the student advocate?
Yes, there's only one student advocate.
Thank you.
Any other questions for James? All right. Anything else in open forum before I give my spiel? All right. So like I mentioned in my report earlier, so there also happens to be another position that you could be involved in with the legislature. And y'all are fortunate because y'all are here at the first meeting. And in order to run for such position, y'all have to be here. So lo and behold, this position is known as the President Pro Tempore. So for those of you who are unfamiliar, new, let me go ahead and explain it to you. So basically, President Pro Tempore serves as the Vice President of the legislature. And being that I'm the President of the legislature as I chair these meetings, the President Pro Tempore would be my right-hand individual who would just be there to help in case I were to step out one day or get ill, God forbid, whatever. They'd be here to step in, take my place, do all the charm and all that good stuff. And they also serve in another capacity too. So the PPT, in short, is also in charge of like overseeing tournaments too, the scheduling, reaching out to organizations who have to recharter, all that good stuff, and just serve as that liaison between organizations who need a charter for one, and the legislative branch. The executive branch. And also to add to, the PPT also serves as the liaison between the legislative branch and myself. So if any of y'all are interested in running for the position, please don't hesitate to reach out to me, get more information regarding it. It's another opportunity for y'all to be involved, of course. So if y'all have been around, definitely consider it. It's a very rewarding position. And of course, again, feel free to reach out to me regarding it. Nominations will be held for the position come next meeting, and then the meeting following that, we'll be having elections for it. So please reach out to me if you're interested for the position. By all means, I'm here. My office is downstairs. We can have a talk about it. And so it's just something to consider. Paul?
Information, I just want to clarify.
Mhm.
It's 5 office hours if you're president principal, or there's no office hours?
No, it's 5 office hours.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, Kevin?
Who nominates the board temporary?
Thank you. So it would actually just be a legislator. Any of y'all could nominate a fellow legislator to get into the position. So that's the process of nominations. So once we have that for next meeting, it'll take place. That way they could hold out a nomination until they were to go through elections the following meeting. So that's the process. That's the way they go about it. Any other questions regarding that? Jarrell?
They can nominate themselves.
No, they cannot. No. Yeah, it would have to be another legislator to nominate them. Yeah. Gabriella?
So next meeting, you would come to the meeting and say that you were interested in a certain position. Would you say that?
So I guess, no, I would actually open like the floor for nominations for the position. It would be in programming, so within the agenda, just to open it up, see if anyone's interested in the position, and that's when nominations will begin. So it'll be like a separate program that'll be during the meeting, like of the agenda, that it'll have its own time allocated for it. So, yeah. G?
Can only a legislator nominate somebody?
I believe so. I should probably check up on that, but to my knowledge, James?
Yeah, I'm checking right now, and it doesn't specify
No.
who's allowed to nominate
All right.
for the position.
Sounds good.
So anyone can?
Except,
Anyone
like,
can nominate.
Not that someone.
yeah, of course not. No. Yeah. So, but just keep that in mind. Find someone, talk to someone to do it for you, whatever it may be. But just be sure to keep it in mind if you're interested. So, yeah. Any other questions regarding that? No. So, anything else in open forum? Go ahead.
Also, you guys, according to section 9 in the statutes, the SGA financial clerk position is also available to anyone who would like to apply for it. You do have to be a legislator. So your duties and roles would consist of helping myself and assisting the bookkeeper, who also works within my office. So filing of any paperwork, any other duties that we assign to that individual would also follow. And in the absence of myself, you would step in to financially train any organizations. So it is also open for, or up for grabs. Just wanted to throw that out there. They do have to be appointed with no later than the 3rd general meeting, so I did want to talk about it today.
Kevin?
Do you have to be nominated for that?
No, they do not. Any other questions?
No, last year we talked about the legislator becoming the Senate. I don't know anything about
So I could
that.
actually,
Like,
oh, so you want to
I don't.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Sounds nicer.
So, if any
It does,
of you
right?
remember what happened last year, if you were in the legislature for the whole entire year, we tried to change the constitution in the fall semester, but because of complications with that, we decided to wait until the spring semester to open up as a referendum question on our election. In the Constitution, it stated that in order to change anything, part of it you need, I think it's around 3,000 votes of the students to change the Constitution. We did not receive 3,000, so we went to the executive board then met with our lawyer to try to find a way to, because you can still appeal that case to a judge, because the student government here, we're a nonprofit organization, so to change anything about our charter, it needs to be court approved. And the lawyer that we currently have does not specialize in that type of work. So we will be looking into the future ways of working around this, or just keeping with the Constitution that we have currently. So any of the changes that were suggested and voted on are not in effect right now.
It is as it is. Any other questions, Hunter?
Point of information.
You can
So
just
you
say
know
it.
how we all became legislators right
Yes,
now?
you did.
How, like, when does that expire?
Good question. So, being that y'all were sworn in today, this is going to go into effect until even our terms end, the executive board. And that date is going to be May 31st. So welcome to your new positions, get to know it. I'm glad y'all have, like, you're really go-getters out there. And of course, like, by all means, like, if you want to have a conversation with me about it, seeing if you could manage it, if you could even have it fit in your schedule, all that stuff, I'd be more than welcome to accommodate. So, yeah, it's the whole year.
And meetings are every Wednesday, right?
Correct. So meetings are going to be every Wednesday here at 3 o'clock. So it'd be best if y'all get here a little earlier just to like... Yes, and I was also going to mention, so as a legislator, it is your requirement to sit on committees. And like I mentioned before, so committees aren't going to be really formed until like the end of September. That way we could know everyone's availability, all that good stuff. So I would give more information regarding like which committees are available, all that stuff at a later time, like at the next meeting even. So just to like have it in that y'all have to join committees, have that time allocated as a legislator, and yeah, so just be willing to do that. So, but again, with any further questions you have regarding it, I'm here. I could further clarify anything, but just keep that in mind, like moving forward. Yeah. Any other questions regarding that?
I just have a statement.
Yeah.
To the two justices that we have back here, could you guys just wait after the meeting? We need to talk about things with the judicial branch.
Great. And I feel as though we're forgetting one more position that is open to legislators, of course, within the SGA, and I'd be more than welcome to explain what it is. So, the clerk, the SGA clerk position. So what it's all about, basically, we need someone here to take minutes for the meetings, of course. We need someone to document. Obviously, we have the camcorder back there to alleviate that work, but it's just a position that we have to fill in order to, like, meet what we have to meet for our statutes, of course, and just to help do and find someone for that position. So basically, if you're ever thinking about possibly running for secretary one day, it's a good position to pick up. In that way, it's a good stepping stone to, like, you know, get out there and feel ambitious and run for that. So by all means, if you're interested in running for just like the financial clerk, it's an appointed position. So you would have to reach out, of course, and then go and bill form, all that good stuff. So please, I ask that if you're interested in the position of the clerk, reach out. It's great. The position's been revamped. It's been alleviated, all that good stuff. So it would not be as daunting as it was last semester. So just putting that out there. And yeah. Anything else in open forum? All right, seeing that there's nothing else in open forum, meeting adjourned at 4:43 p.m. Oh my God, I can't believe we went through that.
You did it, John?
I did it, somehow. We had some kinks here and there. Oh my God.
Jonathan, you did it!
I did it, yeah! Room for improvement, but...
You did a great job.
I did, you think so? Thanks. So, yeah, so I have your phone number here. I'm gonna add all of you to a group chat so we could be in one setting. I have your email, so stay tuned. Thanks for filling it out.
Now, my question to you is, why we
They're going to submit my class. My class is in college writing. You know, it's a requirement. 3:45. Yeah, that's the only reason. I was here. I was ready. I told you, wait, look, I told you.